On Arrakis, belief is more precious than water, more dangerous than melange, and far harder to control. The Fremen did not bow to Paul Atreides because he asked them to. They bowed because the desert had already taught them how. For generations, they waited for a voice promised in whispers, for a name planted in prophecy, for a figure shaped by suffering, exile, and fire. And when the house of Atreides arrived, the signs aligned too perfectly to ignore. The sand listened, shy heel had stirred, and the old wounds of the desert opened just enough to let faith inside. This is not a story about manipulation alone, nor about blind devotion. It is a story about what happens when trauma meets myth, when survival becomes religion, and when hope, starved for centuries, finally finds a face. And then, the desert chose. The Imperium recorded the rise of Paul Atreides as a political event, a rebellion, a coup written in blood and melange. But the Fremen remembered it differently. To them, this was not history. It was fulfillment. For centuries, Arrakis shaped its people through silence and pressure, through thirst that cracked the soul, through enemies that came from the stars and left only ashes behind. The desert did not merely harden the Fremen. It taught them to endure, and more importantly, to wait. Wait for the lease and Al gave. Wait for the one who would come from off-world, yet belong to the sand. Wait for a meaning strong enough to justify endless suffering. When Paul Atreides walked among them, prophecy did not feel imposed. It felt remembered. This is the uncomfortable truth. History prefers to soften. The Fremen did not choose to worship the Atreides. They were culturally prepared to. In this chronicle, we will examine how myth was planted, how trauma preserved it, and how belief, once awakened, reshaped the fate of the Imperium. Because on Arrakis, faith is never innocent. Before the Fremen ever spoke the name Paul Atreides, they learned a harsher language: silence, thirst, endurance. Arrakis was never merely a planet. It was a trial, a world where water defined morality, where every step outside a still suit was a negotiation with death, where children learned early that survival was not heroic. It was routine. The chronicles of the Imperium described the Fremen as primitives, fanatics,